Hey crafty friends, it's Jeannie and today I am sharing a card featuring the large circle confetti hot foil and the Happy Things Stamp and Cut XL set. I am starting off by hot foiling and I'm going to place my large circle confetti hot foil plate facing up with the pretty side of the foil facing down. I'll add a piece of the deluxe smooth white cardstock to finish off my sandwich and I'll let it run for about 30 seconds on medium heat. I am using the Gemini foil press and I'll run it through my die cut machine. And once I finish, I can do the reveal, which is super duper fun. I decided to do a panel with the gold and then again with the silver. So again, the hot foil plate facing up, the pretty side of the foil facing down, add your cardstock and then the top of the little sandwich, and then once the heat goes off, you'll run it through your die cut machine and then you can do the reveal, which is always the fun part. I really liked how both of these turned out and I just love how fun it is. For my silver foiled panel, I'm going to take it to a paper trimmer and I am cutting strips. There's no measurements here. I'm kind of cutting where I want to on a diagonal. I thought it would be really fun and I kept all the pieces together so I can do some ink blending. I decided that for each of the strips I will be ink blending with a different color. So I am using Splash Blue Raspberry and Key Lime Fizz and I am alternating colors, but I will go ahead and just do one color at a time because it'll save me time from switching over with the brushes. And I do have a brush for each color family, so one for green, one for blue, and one for teal. And I am using the brushes from Hero Arts. I kind of alternate between the medium and the large. I just don't really have much of a preference here. The strips are pretty small, so I do go in pretty heavy-handed. This ink pad is a little dry, so I had to really go in with it, but the rest of the ones are like fully inked and they just look so pretty. The cool thing with hot foil is that it resists ink that you put on top of it, and sometimes there is a little bit of residual ink left over, but I just take either a microfiber cloth or a paper towel and kind of wipe it off. But it's really cool watching this come together, and I think ink blending over hot foil kind of adds to the look, mainly because you use white cardstock and I tend to stick with only white cardstock, but I do want some color. Sometimes with colored cardstock, it's not super smooth, but in this case, I'm specifically using the deluxe smooth white cardstock because one, I'm doing hot foiling, which kind of requires a very smooth surface, and then I also wanted to do ink blending, so I really wanted a good blend on my paper, so that's why I chose this specific paper. For the gold panel, I decided to leave it as is, but I wanted to do a purple ombre, which I think turned out really pretty. I mainly picked a purple because I knew that it would go really well with the gold and it would really stand out. I was thinking that if I went in with yellows or even orange, it kind of might just clash together and you won't see the hot foil. So I really wanted that bold look with the hot foil, and it ended up kind of reminding me of Tangled, the Disney movie. So I really loved how this panel turned out. So the three colors that I'm using for this panel is Thistle, Grape, and Purple Galaxy. They are just such pretty colors that blend really well together. The Purple Galaxy is the much darker one, and I think that one really makes it look like a night sky because it's kind of dark enough to almost look blue, but also dark enough where it's just super bold and could be almost considered black. I went ahead and pulled out a piece of printer paper because it was really thin, and then I backed it with a double-sided adhesive, and this is so I can put these puzzle pieces together and not have to worry about creating too much thickness because this card panel will be put onto a card base, so that will add extra thickness, and I just didn't want it to be too thick. And I'm putting it all together and it comes out so pretty. I did require a little bit of patience just to make sure everything matches up, and then the adhesive is sticky, so I wanted to be absolutely sure before I pressed it down. And now we have a whole card panel that I will be trimming down to an A2 card size because this will be the panel that I wanted. And you'll notice that I did use an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock to do the hot foiling because I wanted to give myself enough space to cut where I wanted to and ink blend over the edges so that that's why I have this large panel, and I have a bit of time like going ahead and cutting it down to my perfect size. For this silver panel, I stuck with an A2 card panel, mainly because I did not want to mat this. But for the purple, I decided to trim it down to 4 inches and 5.25, mainly because I wanted to mat it on black cardstock, because I just really think that this looks like a night sky, and I thought black would look perfectly with this. And it's a little tricky because I wasn't able to hot foil perfectly straight on my card panel, so that's why I go back a few times just to make sure I have all the pieces cut how I want it to be cut. For the Happy Thanks Stamp and Cut XL set, it comes with 2 large sentiments, thanks and happy. And I just used the Hero Arts wire cutter to cut them apart, and then I'll be die cutting it out of pitch black cardstock, which is a very black cardstock. I really love it. It die cuts beautifully, and it just is just so perfect. I just love a contrast, and this black is something that I use to mat a lot of my card panels. So I'll go ahead and pop it out. Once I'm done, I die cut both thanks. I wanted one for each card. I wanted to show 2 different looks for the same type of card, same kind of design for the hot foil. Just, they look very different, but it came from the same hot foil plate, which I think is awesome. And this is something you definitely can mass produce. So I played around a little bit with the placement of everything, and then I decided that the thanks on the purple cardstock kind of didn't pop out as much as I wanted, so I decided to also die cut a piece out of the white glitter from Hero Arts. It's from the Glitter Basics pack. It comes with, I think, black glitter and white glitter, and I thought that offsetting it will just make it pop a little bit more, gives it a little bit more contrast. And I went in with a Hero Arts precision glue on the sentiments just to add it to the card panel, making it super nice and easy. And if you don't have double-sided adhesive, you could have placed the little puzzle pieces together using glue as well. Liquid glue actually gives you a little bit more leeway in placing it and gluing it down. You can still move it while it's wet. It just works out so nicely. So I'm using my mini MISTI just to make sure that my panel will be put onto my black cardstock correctly. I kind of wanted it squared up at the side of my card, so it just kind of has that offset look which matches the sentiment, and I decided to put that sentiment lower on my card panel. So I just think it looks really nice. It gives a different look from my silver panel, and the gold panel just looks really pretty as well. I can't decide which one I like more, but I am definitely leaning towards the purple because it reminds me of a night sky and lanterns. So that is it for the card. I hope you enjoyed it, and subscribe to Hero Arts YouTube channel, and I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye!